What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with the boys, Nick and Xavier. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the return of the Matt, Conor McGregor. They finally announced it. Dana White announced it during Francis Ngannou's walkout. The king of petty himself, Dana White. But let's get to this fight, man. It is a rematch taking on Max Holloway, International Fight Week. McGregor, of course, won the first one. McGregor has been out of the octagon for a very long time. He's supposed to come back multiple times. It was supposed to be Chandler for the longest time. They settle on Max. What do you guys think about Conor McGregor's turn here? Is it going to for sure happen? Because we've been baited a couple of times. And what do we think about Max being the opponent here?
I think that at the bare minimum, it shows what kind of fighter McGregor is and has always been. And that's the kind of fighter that will fight anybody, anytime, and take on any challenges. In recent years, that has kind of been kind of called into question a little bit. Like, does Conor really want to fight? Does he want to fight the hard fights anymore? Um, what does he think of himself? Does he really just want to get an easy win off Michael Chandler and fight the Michael Chandler, Donald Cerrone's of the world? But at the end of the day, I think that this shows me that like largely that was probably more on the UFC side. Like they kind of wanted it was in their better interest to give him a win, give him a Michael Chandler, a easier opponent. Because honestly, like fighting Max Holloway in a 5 rounder, even though I heard that they were pushing for three, but I mean he still agreed to the five. You gotta respect it. That is the furthest thing from an easy fight. Especially an opponent that you've already beat, so you have everything to lose and not much. Like you have a lot to gain. Like people will respect this win a lot more. Max Holloway at this stage is like obviously like a legend in the sport and like a active one of the best, still actively one of the best fighters in the sport. So the win will be impressive, but he already has a win over him. He has the bragging rights if he wants to, rest on his laurels. But I mean, he gave Dustin Poirier a rematch. He's giving Max a rematch, like at a harder time. You know what I mean? I mean, I just think that like this matchup shows me that Conor is not afraid. That he still thinks that he can fight the best, with the best guys in the world. And I have to respect him for that. Whether that ends up being true remains to be seen. I think that this fight happening at welterweight does benefit him, just because Max is seemed a little undersized against Charles, and I don't know exactly who's bigger, but if I had to guess, McGregor's a little bit bigger than Charles right now. Like McGregor been a big fuck for the last couple of years, on all the juice, but it's okay because he had to take the juice to like heal his leg and shit. But like we know he was juiced the fuck up, um, and I mean, like maybe he can like land the harder punches, and maybe like Max might not be able to take the punches as well, and that might help him. But I mean, I still think that like fighting Max in a 5 rounder, a guy who has traditionally had a good chin, like has like damn near infinite cardio and insane pace, insane output, and Connor who has historically struggled when he has to put out too much output. It's kind of on paper a bad matchup, and I respect him a lot for taking it, especially coming off of the serious surgery and the massive layoff. So props to Connor.
Yeah, massive announcement by Dana White at the fight card, though. I mean, he seemed real pumped for this one. God, I mean, I'm excited. My boy Conor McGregor is back. It's been a long time, but I feel like the question in this fight, how motivated is Conor? I think his lifestyle has given him a choice not to train as hard in some fights. I think that's why I think he started losing, not getting better in the wrestling and grappling game if he continued to work on that kind of stuff. I think the striking will always be solid. Like, I think no matter what, I think he's just talented in that area. Um, but it's a big question of motivation here. Is he actually looking to come back to make a statement and continue fighting, though? I think is the bigger question if he wins. Or is he here kind of for a quick payday? You know, we all know Connor, he kind of loves to be relevant a lot, like constantly, and I feel like could this be that kind of move? I don't know. I feel like it isn't because he's fighting Max specifically. I mean, I think if he was fighting Chandler, he can come in here in any way possible and he might still sleep that man. Looking at Chandler's gas. I mean, Chandler turned into Marlon Moraes, my favorite guy, Marlon Moraes these days. Like, he
Yeah.
can't take 4 minutes in a fight anymore without huffing and puffing. So this one, I mean, Max is like coming in basically, I would say, still in his prime. Like, basically still. And, Connor hasn't fought in 5 years and he's been training, I don't know to what extent though. Cause he was doing BKFC stuff or whatever, and he's a businessman, so he's always running around doing whatever. So for me, big question, how motivated is Connor for this fight? I would say he is just because he took Max. Because like, let's be for real, it's a dangerous matchup for the man. Like, Max is way more improved than the first time they fought. Um, even in the, I know Oliveira just out wrestled him, but I feel like against Conor McGregor's wrestling, I don't know if it would work these days. So this is primarily, I think they're gonna just go out there and scrap though. I think this is a scrap kind of fight. In my mind, Connor, I mean, he'll be a sizable dog. I mean, I expect,
He's like plus 300 or some shit.
Plus 200.
yeah, I mean, expect it. Like, I think Connor's, and the thing is, though, like, Connor never had the best gas tank and taking like 5 years off, and now he's 37, I believe. I mean, it doesn't bode the best going into this fight, especially with Max, who is younger and just, I mean, he has a crazy fight schedule. I've never seen Max like not have a good amount of fights in a year. So if
And
he,
the highest caliber guys, like only nothing but the best for so long.
yeah, so it feels spook as a Connor fan, I feel a little spooked by this matchup, but I will say if anyone is to do it, I would feel like it is Connor. I think it helps that he's at welterweight at least for this fight. I think that makes it more interesting. Because Max never fought that big, right? I mean, I would guess he walks around maybe up there, but like he never fought this big, and Connor at least has. So I'm wondering what the punching power is gonna look like as well. Just Connor being a little older. Because I'll be honest, as a Connor, I think that's the only way I can see him winning. I don't really see a decision victory, especially the longer it goes. Um, so we gotta knock him out in those first two. But if anyone can, it's definitely Mystic Mac, man. Like, who else?
Yeah, I think Max was the right opponent. I always wanted it to be Oliveira just because it's for the BMF. I love the McGregor versus Brazil thing, but Oliveira, it would just be too daunting. I feel like, especially after what we just saw him do to Max. And speaking of Max, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I was a little down on him after the Oliveira fight. But it was a matchup thing. I'm not going to shit on him for that. This is the perfect comeback fight for him. Perfect rematch here. Conor McGregor hasn't fought since 2021. I know it's impossible to predict, guys, but on Conor McGregor's side, give me a breakdown on what you expect from him physically and his abilities in the cage come International Fight Week.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what do I expect? Like
Yeah,
cardio?
yeah, his cardio, power, technique. What version of Conor McGregor in there are we going to see?
Um, I'm hoping that he comes in there and is a little patient. Doesn't I think he's gonna be a little bit wary of blowing his load because I think that he understands that like if he is out of gas like before round four, 2 rounds of Max Holloway on the gas when you're gassed out, like even like I would say Max Holloway punches a lot more crispy and hard than Nick Diaz. I mean, than Nate Diaz even. Like, you know what I mean? Like Nate Diaz, like has that slapping shit and all that open hand like slap type strikes. And then mixes in the punches. Holloway, he doesn't have the most punching power, but he's gonna put the hands on you. He's gonna punch you, and like as he's aged, his punching power has only gotten better, as evident from how he slumped dumped Gaethje after a war. So, um, I think Connor's gonna know that. I think he's gonna be a little bit more cautious. I could see him like I kind of want to believe that he's gonna come out and be more like free flowy, like how he used to. Just because like that is when he was at his best. And with him having this much time to dedicate towards like preparing for MMA versus like him kind of bouncing back and forth with boxing all the time back in the day, um, and kind of just like settling into a boxing heavy style of fighting, I think that like hopefully I expect him to like throw a little bit more kicks, some teeps, maybe some leg kicks even, just because like just to show he's not like scared of that shit. You know what I mean? Um, Plus, I think he has a titanium rod in his shit, so why not use that a little bit? Um, but yeah, I expect like some, a more methodical McGregor. I don't think he's just gonna come out and just like get on Max's ass how he used to back in the day. I don't expect many like spinning kicks and shit. Um, but I mean, if he does that, then I'm just gonna treat it like, oh damn, he's here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I mean? Like he's just here to like have a nostalgia tour until he eventually gets beat. But if he wants to win, I expect him to come in trying to win, trying to like, be on his timing shit, precision, being more like sparse with his output. I don't expect a lot of output early from him. Maybe he starts to pick it up if he like, once he realizes he has a little bit more in the tank and we're like, round three, he might be like, okay, let me start to open it up. But I expect him to kind of start a little slow just because it is 5 rounds. I think if this fight was 3 rounds, I think that the game plan I'm describing here will be a lot different. Because I think in a 3 rounder, his best strat would be like win the first two and then like survive round three. Whereas now I think he has to kind of like try to take some rounds off, maybe have low output, maybe like every other round fight, and then try to like maybe have a little bit left in the tank down the stretch. I expect him to be like kind of giving up a couple rounds. Like he might like try to win round one and then like maybe give away round two and try to mostly just be defensive and stay safe. You know what I mean? I kind of expect that from him where he just takes some like significant rounds off and then tries to, rejuice back up for the next round where he can actually win. That might be the best strat for him.
I agree. I think he's not going to be able, I think, to put it on Max and outpoint him, you know, through a decision or anything like that. I think he needs to go in there, like you said, and be patient and look for the kill shot, and Max is tough to put away. I mean, only Taporia has. But if there anyone is to do it, it is Connor. So I think he needs to be patient. Just throw a lot of kicks. I would just be throwing kicks at the start for him, I think. Just a lot of nice range finders. I will say though, I kind of expect Max to track him down. Like, I don't think Max is gonna go out there and respect him. I think he is gonna just kind of march him down immediately. So I do think Connor just, be a little slick, get on your movement, and at least throw a few nice combos that lets him know that you're here.
Yeah,
Because
definitely, I agree.
yeah, because once I think because I really just think Max, I don't think he's going to be worried going into this. And I think he is just going to straight line right to McGregor, which could be a bad decision by him. But it's just how Max fights. I don't think he'll be afraid of the power, especially since he didn't get finished by Connor the first time. So I think he has a little bit of that confidence to go out there and try to put it on him. But I think if you're Connor, just a lot of circular motion, um, just some nice kicks, a lot of nice body kicks too. You don't have to just do the boxing the whole time. I feel like that was Connor's problem as well in his latest fights. Like he became more of a boxer, stopped doing the kicks, elbows, all the stuff that made him great as well. And I think if I don't think this is gonna be, like 2016 Connor or anything like that. But if I didn't really feel like he was bad in 2021 necessarily. I thought, like, I know Poirier finished him both times, but
One was the fluke, and like one he was doing well until he just got hit by Poirier, which Poirier was a dog. Like, you know what I mean? Poirier was a dog, and like I would argue that like I don't think that McGregor took him as seriously the first time as he should have, and
Mhm.
then like the second time, or I guess like the third time, but the second time, at lightweight, like his leg gave out on him. So it's like that fight never got to finish really at the end of the day. So, I mean, and it's Poirier. Like we act like Poirier wasn't like the a perennial number one contender, you know what I mean? So losing to Poirier twice is not that bad. And he was like also looking good in those fights. It's not like Poirier dog walked him. He damn near had Poirier buzzed, damn near knocked him out in round one and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So he was a decent fighter last we seen him.
Yeah, that's those fights aren't really my concerns. It's definitely the layoff and like the
Yeah.
injuries because he's clearly his body's not the same. I think actually the fight is going to play out very similar to the second Dustin Poirier fight. I think it's going to be pretty back and forth. Like, let's assume Conor has pretty decent cardio. I think it'll be pretty back and forth. It's all going to be on the feet. We're not going to see anything new from Max. And somewhere in the middle, someone's going to get TKO'd. It's probably going to be Conor, but I'm going to be rooting for Conor. But I think it'll look very similar to the second Poirier fight. A lot of advantages on Mac's side here, obviously, because of the layoff. But two things going for Connor. It's at 170. He's fought at 170 before. His body's a lot more used to it. Max has never been that big. It's kind of weird to think of seeing Max fight at 170 and his style translating. That and Max gets knocked down a lot. He has a great chin, but he is very taggable. In his last however many fights before the Oliveira one, he was knocked down. So I think there definitely is an avenue for Connor here. It's just about which Connor we're getting. Like that's what it is.
I think that that's my one path that I see him maybe like even if it was a decision, I could see him like having the biggest moments of the fight. Cause I do think like you said, if he can like be on his like defensive less output but like land the more damaging strikes and kind of be defensively sound, like not let Max just mix him up. Um Because I do think that like Max is gonna bring the fight to you, but Max has shown that if you rock him a little bit, he will get a little bit more like he's not a dummy. You know what I mean? Max is not like a crash head. He's not just like the kind of fighter that gets rocked and like he's just like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna put my chin out there and just like start brawling randomly. He will like give it a minute, respect, try to make some reads, try to work his way behind the jab. You know what I mean? Like fight his way back into the fight. He's not just like a and that's kind of how I see Connor maybe getting some breaks a little bit, maybe like 15 seconds here, 10 seconds there of keeping Max off of him. He's gonna have to like make Max respect him by like effectively countering and like maybe buzzing Max a little bit, and then like maybe like understanding like if even if you rock Max, Max is not a chinny fucker. Like he has a good comeback chin. Don't blow your load trying to finish him. If you really have him, go for it. But if it's like you stun him. He drops to a knee, gets back up. Don't just fucking empty the clip. You know what I mean? You have to be patient, and maybe you just take like, okay, I knocked him down. As long as I don't, you know, as long as I have a solid rest of the round, I'll win the round. Boom. Like maybe you just like take the big moments and then you try to like coast around and like save the big moments and like have a like let's say I can see a world where he has like a knockdown in 2 rounds or a big moment where Max stumbles back for a second, you know what I mean, in a couple rounds, and then at that point maybe like a hold Max against the cage on some Sizemog shit. Like who knows? Like I could see a path. Like there is a path for him to win. It's just so many unknowns because of the layoff and the injury.
Also, I don't think Max is in his prime anymore, for the record. I do think he is on a slight downhill fall. I'm not saying it's drastic, but I mean, he's lost 2 out of his last 3 fights, and Max isn't a Superman anymore, is what I'm trying to say. So, Conor, as much as we don't know about Conor, Max isn't the same guy he used to be, in my opinion.
Especially at 172.
Um, Really quickly, guys, what does this fight mean for the UFC? Is it as simple as their biggest name is coming back, huge attraction, kind of one off, or is there more at stake here? Like if he gets a win, what's at stake here for the UFC? I guess with
I
McGregor.
think that if Conor gets a win, there's a lot on the table. I mean, where's Holloway ranked right now at lightweight? It's still pretty fucking high, is it not? Like
It's probably 4.
exactly, he's ranked at 4. You beat the 4 guy. You think that he's not fucking?
And he's Conor McGregor, so he just
He's
has the
Conor
privilege.
McGregor. He
Also,
beats Max and calls out Ilya. You think that that's not fucking next, bro? It is. You get what I'm saying? Like, if he wins, especially in any kind of like convincing fashion, oh, it's up. If he gets on that mic, and he's gonna fucking like I'm saying, like I said, I think that Conor believes in himself, and that would honestly just solidify himself. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that he looks at Ilya like, oh man, I can't knock this little fucker out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all he wants to do is box with me. Like, fuck, like, let's do it. I think that he's fully confident that he could beat Ilya, and I think that if he were to beat Max, like, all bets are off. Like, he is here until the wheels fell off. You know what I mean? Like, not literally, but I mean, like, he's here at least until he fights for that belt. And I don't think that the UFC is gonna put him through the ringer either. One fight he wins, you know, he wins convincingly. God forbid he knocks Max out. Oh my gosh. Then you can't tell me he's not next for the title shot. Our man can just eat a fat dick at that point, unfortunately. All respect, all respect. But like the UFC is gonna just brush him right aside, right aside.
It's too big of a star. He would get a title. I think if he beat Michael Chandler, they'd probably throw him a title shot. To be honest, so he would get it 100%. They don't care about Zarzukian. Most people don't. Uh, Even me, I think he's boring. Hey, fight Oliveira again. We'll see how that second fight goes, buddy. See how that goes. But he would get easy. Too big of a star. If he would have beat Poirier, they would have gave him the title shot at the time, even in the third fight. So he, it's all up. It would be uppity if he were to pull it off. It feels like he probably won't, but I hope he does.
Facts.
we're getting some throwback vibes, bro. Let's go. McGregor is back. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Let us know your predictions in the comments. Please go check out the TikTok, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.